Hello again and welcome to another Black Templar Friday. It is the end of another week, working for the man, going to college, end of another hard-working week, but it's time for the weekend and it's time for a Black Templar Friday video. So for those of you who do not know what a Black Templar Friday is, maybe you're joining us the first time here on this channel. Black Templar Friday is a rather different video to what we normally do. It's less tactics focused. Tactics do come into it. It's just more of a free-for-all stream of consciousness, unstructured video where I just chat shit for an indeterminate amount of time. I don't know how long I'm going to be. Maybe I'm going to be 10 minutes, maybe I'm going to be 20 minutes. I don't know. And it's just a time for us to relax, maybe just share some ideas. And the whole point of it is that you guys, put as many comments as you can down below in the comment section. I mean, it's all about, maybe sharing that epic battle story. Maybe a lone guardsman took on a Carnifex and somehow came out the other side. Maybe, you took an objective from your opponent in just, maybe not a necessarily epic way, but a real textbook fashion. You've got a cool tactic you want to share, a cool weapon combination you want to share. Maybe you've just been doing loads and loads of painting and you just want to just show off an epic model that you painted. Put a link down to something in the comments. You use Imager, upload some pictures to Imager, and put a link down in the comments saying, "Hey, check out this cool, model I painted." Yeah, that's all good. Maybe you've just had some epic good life news. Maybe you've got a new job. Maybe you did well, school or college. It doesn't matter. Just share the end of the week, sort of relief that we all feel when it's just time for the weekend. So yeah, that's the whole point. So, what have I been up to this week? Well, sadly, I haven't been able to play my campaign with the Black Templars. I mentioned last week I was in a campaign and I've played Harlequins the first game. This is a picture from that game. So I haven't been able to. So I may have lost some territory in the Black Templar campaign. The way the campaign works, I found out. I don't know if I mentioned this last week. Is you can take territory on the campaign map, even if you can take someone else's territory, even if you don't play them. You could play a battle against someone else and use that win to pick a piece of territory you want to conquer and conquer someone else's territory. I think that the reason the Stormad has done that is so that people don't need to fanny about trying to arrange games and meet up on the same day and whatever. But it's kind of bullshit because I want to fight someone and take that person's territory. I want a grudge match to be set up between me and someone else. I want to, if I purge the Xenos from the planet, I want to purge that Xenos from the planet. And it's kind of like, it's a good idea. I understand why he's done it, but it's like, I haven't had a chance to go into the store this week. So if I go in and some bloody spineless Xenos tricksy coward has played like 2 or 3 games and conquered all my territory, but he hasn't had to fight me for it, that's really going to put me off playing the campaign. It's really going to put me off because, like, it's people. They haven't fought me for my territory. How have they conquered my territory? How did them fighting someone else on the other side of the planet help them with my territory? It doesn't make sense. So it shouldn't really be a campaign. Okay, there shouldn't be a map or any balls like that. There should just be like a league. There should just be a league. It should just be a league. But whatever, like that's the rules. That's the thing. I'll play a bit, but if it. I'll play it through. It's like a monthly campaign or something, so I'll finish it off. I'll hopefully get a game in tomorrow. But, like, look, it's... That's all I can say, Maybe... I feel like if someone wants to take my territory, they should fight me for my territory. Maybe that's just the inner Templar speaking. That sense of code, that honour, that duty. The Guard player, the Templar player that's in me. But... that's I want to face my opponent across the table, and if they're trying to take my final bit of territory, I want to stop them. I want to stop them with everything I got. So anyway, look, it's annoying. Maybe it's annoying me a bit more than it should have done. But whatever, it's cool. It's all cool. I'm playing a campaign. I've kicked some Eldar ass. I played some Harlequins. So I'm on a bit of a trend with playing Eldar, actually. I'm actually going to move on for the whole campaign thing. And talk about the game that I played on Tuesday. So I played another game with the Steel Legion. And I want to tell you guys, I don't know if I said it last week, but I got all the models together that I need for the Steel Legion army now, bar a couple of infantry squads. So maybe not even full infantry squads. I might be really close to my model, but I have, pardon me, I have all the vehicles. I have 6 heavy bolter, heavy stubber chimeras, 6 DAC chimeras. I have 4 Leman Russers, and I have 3 sentinels. Now, I played a game with my list again, and it was a tough game. It was against Eldar. It was against tournament Eldar, and it was an interesting list. This guy that I was playing against, we kind of have a bit of a history. We have a bit of a grudge match. We always end up playing each other at tournaments, in singles tournaments anyway. I think I'm actually ahead on sort of the score. I don't know if he's keeping track. I'm keeping track though. But like I remember, he's always played Dark Eldar on Eldar. He always plays the two together. And the first time I beat him was when I used like all tanks in a game, in a tournament game. I had like my double steel host list or something crazy, whatever it was. And I crushed him because he was Eldar and he couldn't really stop me. And in the second game I played, I had like all infantry completely on the spectrum, and he had, that was it. I remember I was running. So the first game I played, I ran double steel host, and then like 6 months later, another tournament, I ended up playing against him again, and I had the Emperor's Shield Infantry Company, and I had it like maxed. I had like I can't even tell you, like 200 infantry or something crazy. It was, yeah, it was nuts. I had the full Emperor Shield Infantry Company, and I won again. And so we had a third game. This was him. He's going to the Caledonian Uprising. I'm not going, unfortunately. I didn't get a ticket. But he's going, and he was trying out his tournament list, and it was an interesting list. It was, I can't remember. It was only 1 squad of Dark Reapers, so it can't have been completely balls competitive. But it was still, he had a full 10-man squad of Dark Reapers, then like 5 Cabalites, 5 Rangers, and then loads of Mandrakes. He had loads of Mandrakes, and then he had loads of Harlequins as well. Guardians. He had loads of Guardians, 2 Viperins and a Wave Serpent. And a whole host of characters. And what he did is he web-wayed and deep struck, because his mandrakes can deep strike, I think, or infiltrate. They can do one or the other. His mandrakes, and his swooping hawks. He had 2 or 3 squads of swooping hawks. And he deployed right in front of me and tried to alpha strike me. And my Steel Legion kind of just took it and were like, okay, cool. So how I deployed is I deployed 3 squads on each flank, 3 Chimera squads on each flank, my 4 heavy tanks in the centre, and a sentinel out front, an armoured sentinel out front on each sort of left, right, and centre. So those armoured sentinels kept him back from deep striking too close, because he tried to get some charges off me, but I was able to stop him with defensive gunners and doing lots of Overwatch damage. Plus being Mordian, hitting on 4+ with tanks on Overwatch, yum. So it's really interesting this, but like what I noticed with the Steel Legion is that like my opponent, he deep struck down and he did this alpha strike in inverted commas, and it was like he killed a sentinel and a Leman Russ and damaged. I don't think he killed. Maybe he killed. I think he killed a Chimera, but like he dropped down and killed a Sentinel, a Leman Russ, and a Chimera, and I was like, okay, fine. Like armor is really tough this edition. Like, and this is what I've noticed with my Steel Legion. Like they're tough. They're really, really tough. And I know it sounds like stupid, like, yeah, of course, Mordian Glory, you're taking an entire army of vehicles. But this is, I've been playing pure infantry for many moons now, and going to a pure, tank army pretty much, it's mechanized infantry, so it's 60 infantry, so it's not like I'm low on boots on the ground. I have foot presence. But, being in Chimeras, being Lehman Russes, it just means Alpha Strikes in this edition just tend to bounce off. Yeah, I lost 3 vehicles, but I had 10 more. And then he's out in the open, he's exposed. So I think how you want to do this kind of Imperial Guard game malarkey is you either want to be really infantry heavy and you use your numbers to really absorb the damage. You need 150 infantry. I've played a couple of games recently where I've only been using 100 guys in my foot lists. Admittedly, it's only been 1,500 points. But it just wasn't enough. I needed 150 guys. 100 just isn't enough. I need 150 for my foot list now, going forward. But going back, the Steel Legion, they could really take a punch. And then in return, it's, you're facing down 5 twin heavy bolter chimeras with 5 heavy stubbers and and I got my infantry out turn 2, which I normally don't do. I got my infantry out in his face and first rank fire, second rank fire, because Eldar took us 3, and I just cleared off a whole load of the enemy infantry. But it was a close game. He really fought me down to a standstill, and it was the end of the game. We were playing Maelstrom. And the end of the game, all he had left was his full squad of Dark Reapers. I hadn't been able to touch them. Full squad of Dark Reapers and a squad of half a squad of Guardians and an Autarch and some Farseers and some Warlocks and some characters basically. They had 4 characters and Dark Reapers and Guardians left. And all I had left, though, was a Lehman Russ and 3 Chimeras and an infantry squad. That was it. I had gone down from 13 vehicles and 60 infantry to 4 vehicles, all of which were damaged a little bit in some way. 4 vehicles and 10 infantry. And a single officer. So it was close. I ended up, it wasn't much in it. He had more characters, I had more tanks. In terms of the game, I won. I won by 3 Maelstrom points. What swung the game in my favour was I got that priority mission received, the one that only a warlord can achieve. And it was defend objective 5. Objective 5 was my home objective. I was on that. So my warlord just, because I'm maneuverable, because I can jump out of chimeras and stuff, my warlord just jumped out of a chimera 9 inches and then advanced. And then moved and just took. I don't think he needed to be moved. He just jumped out of the chimera and advanced. He could have moved if he needed to, but I got a good advance roll. And yeah, so it's really good the Steel Legion having that maneuverability. So yeah, really enjoyed that game. Playing Tournament Eldar, very different. I suspect if he was going to be super competitive, he would be taking more Dark Reapers. But I have faced Dark Reapers now. I'd only seen other people face them before, or maybe. No, I think I had faced them before, but I think I just faced a few smaller squads. This is the first time we're facing a big 10-man squad. That's it. It's the first time we're facing a big 10-man squad. And let me tell you, those guys are nasty. They can doom and guide and jinx, and they can fire and fade. It's just crazy. The whole fire and fade thing is really pissed me off. It meant he was able to shoot and then jump back behind cover, and that's why he only takes the 1 squad, he says, because he basically just makes sure that squad stays alive the whole game. He takes a load of command points. And I can see it working. It made me really think, I need some indirect fire in my army. So I've got a Manticore. I bought a Manticore ages ago. I'm talking in 7th edition. I bought a Manticore. and because I was on this whole craze of I want to get every model the Imperial, every model the Imperial Guard has. I've almost done it, but I bought a Manticore, and it's unpainted. You know what? I feel like I should paint that up in the colours of my Steel Legion. I've got a spare Manticore and a spare Hellhound. Those two models together, and a whole bunch of spare like third-party infantry I can use. Those two models together will give me plus a few other bits, will give me 2,500 points for my Steel Legion, and that's quite tasty. 2,500 points gives me a bit of flexibility when it comes to my list. So, because at the moment I've just sort of been building towards this 2,000 point list goal, but I hate collecting a list. I like to collect an army, and I hate collecting a list. So, because then the reason for that is because of the meta shifts, your list becomes invalidated and you're fucked. So I hate collecting a list. So collecting an army, I'm already sort of 50-50 collecting a list, collecting an army, because in my list I don't use any sort of any heavy weapons on my infantry, but in my army I actually have like 3 missile launchers, 3 heavy bolters, and I've got a whole host of grenade launchers. So if somehow grenade launchers become super OP, I have about 7 Steel Legion grenade launchers, or something crazy. So I'm in the money when it comes to grenade launchers. Yeah, and obviously I haven't glued my Sentinel weapons on, so that's good. So I can always adapt in that way if Plasma Sentinels become really good or something, or I need Heavy Flamer Sentinels. So that's all good. I've got options. I've got options, baby. And of course, Lehman Russ. I haven't glued any of my sponsons in, so my Lehman Russ weapons are all, good to go. Speaking of Lehman Russ weapons, massively executed link. My Cromlech turrets turned up, kind of. Unfortunately, so I ordered some heavy tank turrets from Cromlech because I wanted an alternative look to my Lehman Russes. I wanted something that looked a bit different. And I was a bit. The problem with the Lehman Russes is that with the basic Lehman Russ turret, you have to glue the options in. It's a lot harder. Whereas with the Demolisher cannon variant, you can slot your different weapon systems in. The problem is that I'd already glued. I'd bought a whole load of Lehman Russes for cheap from various sources. Either second hand or from knockoff Lehman Russes that someone was selling or something. I bought a whole load of Lehman Russes because I just wanted the turrets. And the problem is I built 3 of these Lehman Russ turrets. I didn't build the bodies. I built 3 of the Lehman Russ turrets with Exterminator autocannons, and they're kind of crap now. They were pretty good last edition, but they're kind of crap now. So I'm stuck with the turrets. So I decided, I think I mentioned last week, that I was going to buy some Cromlech heavy tank turrets because they're £10 for a turret. So I'm just buying a turret. And I don't need to spend 20 quid for the extra tank hull. So it's £10 a turret, and they do 3 different ones. They do a plasma cannon one. They do a plasma cannon one. They do a Punisher cannon one, and they do a Crusher cannon one. The Crusher cannon kind of looks like a Demolisher. Not gonna lie, but it's a bit longer than a Demolisher. It's a bit bigger than a Demolisher. So how I'm gonna run it is I'm gonna use the plasma ones, the plasma, or as they call it, the Tormentor cannon. I'm gonna use those as plasma cannons. Which is fine. And then the Crusher ones, I might do some converting, but I kind of like the look of them. I think I'm just going to use them as battle cannons. Look, they don't look ideal, but they don't look like Lehman Russ turrets. So I can say what I want them. I can say what they are, and no one can challenge me because they don't know. So anyway, but they sent them, so they turned up, and I ordered 4 of them, and they sent me 2. They sent me 2 Tormentor guns, 2 Crusher guns, but then they only sent me, so 4 weapon systems, but they only sent me 2 of the turrets that you glue the weapons onto. So I've got 4 guns and only 2 turrets. So I emailed them. But I want to say, I emailed them, and I said, hey, not being horrible here, but you guys sent me the wrong thing here. Can you please send me the right thing? And I'm talking within 5 minutes. I barely sent the email. And they got back to me saying, yeah, really sorry, no worries, we'll send you the new stuff, the other stuff. So they messed up, but they sure as hell have got good customer service. So I'm gonna probably do a proper review of these Cromlech turrets. But I can tell you right off the bat, they are so cool. They are super, super cool. I'm trying to think of some kind of like fluff reason why my Steel Legion Leman Russes have got different turrets. I want to say like they're a local variant. These are Steel Legion guys which are guarding a Forge world that maybe isn't Armageddon. Maybe they were on Armageddon and they've been shipped off. Or maybe it's just a local Forge world variant. It's like, or whatever it is. I'm going to call it like the Arcturus pattern Leman Russ. Arcturus? We've already got the Tor Rocks. Maybe that won't work. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it, but I'm going to call it something. But yeah, it looks really, really cool, and honestly, I cannot wait to get these things painted up. I recorded 2 battle reports last weekend. I obviously haven't put any of them up yet. You guys are probably thinking, what the hell, man? Like, get the battle reports up. I haven't put any of them up yet. I will do, but what I'm going to do this weekend is I'm not going to record any battle reports, and I'm going to have a full weekend of painting. I'm going to go and play my campaign battle for the map, as long as, you know, I haven't lost all my territory. But I'm going to really just knuckle down, and I want to paint a whole load of Steel Legion. I want to find out exactly what I have and what I need, and get a whole load of Steel Legion painted up, because they're going to look so cool. They're all built and base coated now, so they're going to start looking really cool. Especially with these really awesome Leman Russ tank turrets. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Been a bit of a rambly one, but we've covered, you know, Black Templars, we've covered Steel Legion, we've covered kicking Eldar's ass. Yeah, going back to the Eldar thing, they're very interesting, the Eldar. Very interesting. They have a very deceptively potent psychic phase. Farseers are good. Autarch's great. Although my opponent's, he was going on about how his Autarch would like rip a tank apart a turn in combat, and it just didn't. I had to win on 5s. I mean, you can't, if you're winning anything on 5s, you're not going to rip it apart in a turn. So Autarchs are good, but they're not these close combat powerhouses. I need a drink of Vimto. But yeah, the Eldar they're really good. But what I found is that if you shoot them, they die. That might sound rather obvious, but hear me out. They're so flimsy. Toughness 3, and none of their vehicles are more than toughness 7. So I ended up. He was playing as Alteox, so he had -1. So my plasma tanks were overcharging and just doing horrendous damage to myself. Each one of my plasma tanks did 3 damage to themselves when I overcharged. And my normal tanks, who've got plasma sponsons, I just something crazy. But like I did like something like 8 wounds to myself in my turn 1. It's totally worth it though, because I killed one of his fire prisms. I want to say big shout out to the Leman Russ Executioner. It's a good example. Like, fire prisms have a hell of a lot of damage. Okay, they can, you know, two fire prisms will pop a tank a turn easy. But the problem is that they haven't got the serpent shield. They haven't got any kind of shielding whatsoever, as far as I can tell. So if you hit them, they tend to fold like paper. So what I did is I was lobbing like battle cannon shells and stuff into one. And, you know, doing some damage here and there. But he was in cover and obscured, so it was really tough. But one of my plasma tanks had like a flanking shot, so he wasn't able to claim a cover save. And I just unloaded, and I got something between the plasma cannon sponsons and the plasma cannon turret. I got something like 11 shots on this thing. I ended up doing 8 wounds. He couldn't save any of them, because on 6-up save. He couldn't save any of them. And I just did like, against 4 of my shots, I just like 8 damage, and I'd already taken some damage from like my other tanks, and I just shredded that thing. Like, my Leman Russ, what I found is my Leman Russes, when I take 4 of them, plus my Lascan Sentinels, plus my Chimeras, I can win armoured battles. I win the armored game. And it's something that I thought the Eldar really struggled with. They struggled with cracking open my tanks. He didn't have any fire dragons. Maybe he needs some fire dragons. I don't know. But yeah, he had everything but, is all I can say in terms of Eldar infantry. Yeah, I don't know. I've always been kind of I hate Xeno scum, obviously, but I have always had a bit of a pipe dream of having a professional Eldar army. You know how a bit like I had my Black Templar. I always want to run the Black Tide, and now I do, and it's really awesome. I really wanted to have like a Dire Avenger army, and I'm talking like, I'm not talking, I'm just sick of these Eldar armies which are like, oh, we've got all these Wraithguard, the dead warriors going back to save us, or we've got some women who scream at you and they make your ears bleed, or some striking scorpions or whatever. You've got all these fanciful different, or let's call it the militia, call it the guardians. It's kind of like, you know what? How about we just see a professional Eldar army do its thing? Take the concept of the Imperial Guard and apply it to the Eldar. Okay, the Eldar have Dire Avengers. They have these guys with 4+ saves, and they can battle focus, and they can blade storm, and they've got good guns, and like, wouldn't it be really cool to take a proper professional Eldar army? Like, if you saw the Eldar go to war, they would have professional soldiers. They are the Dire Avengers. So you never see Dire Avengers. And I thought it'd be really cool, like, to guardify an Eldar army and be like, okay, let's take some Falcons. They're the main battle tanks. Let's take some Fire Prisms. They're like tank destroyers. Let's take some Wave Serpents and let's cram those Wave Serpents with goddamn Dire Avengers. Let's take like, I'm literally talking 6 squads of Dire Avengers in transports, backed up by some heavy armor. I mean, why wouldn't that work? Why do Eldar players not do that? Why do I always see, when I see Eldar armies, and I'm not having a go at Eldar players here, but why do I always see these friggin' multi-coloured, multi-aspect bullshit armies? Like, maybe I'm coming from a position of complete and utter ignorance. Maybe Eldar can't do the whole guard thing, but this edition, 8th edition, is a meat and potatoes edition. You go and spend all your points on these fanciful different aspect warriors, and it's like, okay, cool, yeah, they look good, but are they really doing anything? Like, what would be better if rather than taking a psycho bint and a screaming mask to battle, why not take an actual fucking soldier, a guy whose job it is, who's actually trained for war. I know Howling Banshees are good. Why take striking scorpions? Why are you taking this like guy who hides in the shadows and stuff? When you bring him out of the shadows, you shoot him in the face, he just dies, whatever. Why not try a frigging guy with a gun, a guy with a rifle, a Dire Avenger, a guy with the proper rifle. All you ever see is like people taking Guardians. So, Guardians are cool, but like, they're militia. Why not? Someone should make a professional Eldar army, and they should paint it up so it looks really cool. They shouldn't paint it up in like bright blue fanciful armor. There should be like a proper camouflage scheme. Let me tell you this: how cool would it be to see an Eldar army in some kind of digipat? Maybe the classic urban digipat. That'd be so cool. Or maybe just have some kind of actual, multicam. Have a proper camouflage paint scheme. That, like, the Cadian City Fight scheme. Apply that to some Dire Avengers. How cool would that be? I'm tempted to buy a box of Dire Avengers and paint them up like this, just to fulfill my, like, Dire Avenger Jones. I just want to try it out. But anyway, maybe that I'm getting tempted towards the Xeno scum, fucking alien lover over here. But you guys know what I mean. Like, why is that not a thing? Why do other players always take these crazy bullshit acrobatic armies? Take a goddamn professional force. Fight like a goddamn man. Fight like got you Elder players were complaining for so long that your army wasn't as good as it should be, and you've been hit by the nerf bat. Well, why don't you just take an actual frigging army and not a collection of random units? If I took a collection of random units as guard, I'd lose every game. But anyway, that was a little bit of a rant that I didn't mean to go down. In terms of heretical ideas, once the Steel Legion have been finished, it's time for the chaos. Yes, that is right. It's time for my World Eaters to hit the channel. I got a Helldrake for Christmas. I don't know how far... I can't decide whether I want to go off on my... and explore the delights of Slaanesh with my Chaos Army, or if I want to double down on my World Eaters. I have a key decision to make. It would be cool to increase my World Eater army, but World Eaters have kind of been done to death. I kind of want to try out some Slaanesh stuff. Who knows, with the whispering of the warp in my ear, who knows. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Leave lots and lots of comments, tell me some epic moments, answer my Eldar question, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.